So, good day to us all. Today I am going to discuss my thesis proposal, Sived Seaside, a climate-adaptive vacation place located at Sived, Santo Domingo, Ilocos. The design concept. The concept is derived from considerations of passive design and self-sustaining facility. In passive design, the structure is passively cooled. Heat gain is reduced, but heat loss is also considered as climate shifts at different times. Self-sustaining facility. The materials can be found inside the site, such as bamboo and palm tree that can be used as wood to be fabricated. To be used when natural disasters tend to leave damages on the skin of each part of the project, specifically the skin of the hotel or the main building. Design strategies. The project is near the sea, thus this builds up more turbine and strong winds at a point in time. The strategy is to provide maximum comfort, thus not compromise a major factor that will affect the project. The use of louvers in the balcony to let natural wind in, and a purified air hydroponics if they need to breathe in fresh air. Such strategies will be as follows. Use of sun shading panels to let wind flow and reduce sun exposure. The use of solar panels to reduce mechanical energy. Use of hydroponics system to filter the air. The use of green walls to reduce heat gain. Green walls of interiors will absorb air toxins and purify the air in the interiors. The innovation of the project. Bioclimatic architecture refers to the design and spaces based on local climate aimed to provide thermal and visual comfort, making use of solar energy and natural energy sources. In bioclimatic architecture, designs are considered to incorporate passive design such as solar patterns and wind flow directions. The design will take effect on the exterior and the interior of the facility. In consideration, as a tropical climate in the Philippines, thermal comfort is also applied on the design. Reduce heat gain from the interior at hot to humid climate, and consideration of heat loss is also incorporated at cold times on local climate patterns. Introduction of the system. Hydroponic system or purified air water intake. In hydroponic system, the water is purified through the green plate or the plantation plate in means of pump and pipings that is placed in every 4 tubs of the system. From the green plate, the water is now purified and cooled. Thus the water goes back to the water reservoir. Then there is an intake fan that is high enough to intake the air from the purified air from the water reservoir to the interior of the rooms. The water is replaced every end of the week. The reservoir is treated to prevent moss build-up that can affect the system or the air. The innovation of the project. The system is located at the balcony of the rooms. The system consists of green air combination of water recycling method. The plants reduce green toxins that can eliminate also the bad toxins as per absorption. The system is classified as follows: an air purifying vent, a bad air toxin purifier, and a growing medium for planters. The system requires minimum effort to operate, thus the wiring will run through a pipe that will be connected to its server room in the electrical room. The parts of the system can be found locally with the use of a hard plastic tub as a frame on the green plate that can carry the green plate. The diagram shows how the air intake functions. The diagram shows how wind forms the water from the reservoir is transferred to the interior of the unit. The air system of the innovation will be equipped with an air duct fan, a carbon air filter, and a vent hose. An air duct fan is used on the system simply because it's quiet and it's low on electricity consumption. The air filter will be in consideration of filtering the air from the water reservoir that will pass on to the vent hose to the fan, transferring the purified air from the hydroponic system to the interiors of the room. The layout of the system is simple. The system requires a green plate, a wood support piece, a bamboo strut as a divider or additional support, a hydroponics piping layout, a support piece for green plate, and a storage tub for the frame for the system. A 180-degree sprinkler will be equipped on the system to properly water the plants on the surface and freely flow water. So in this diagram, we'll be discussing the water distribution diagram. Water is pumped upwards to the system pipings. One water pump supplies 4 green plates. From the pump, water travels through the pipes. When adequate supply is on the system, this will trigger the sprinkler to water the plant. The innovation of the project also utilizes a double skin facade. The existing facade on the ground floor of the hotel or the main building will be equipped with a 2-skin layer facade to protect and to conserve the existing wall of the structure. In consideration of sun shading and wind flow, the second facade will be equipped with a fish skin-like sun shading panel. The panel works as a sun shading panel and it can also be used as a diffuser of strong winds that will hit the structure. The sun shading panel will be placed at the ground floor in front of facade of the building. The system will utilize the tensile system. The wind will hit the panels. This will create a movement on the shading panel, thus making it like a fish skin-like properties. On the evolution of shape of the project, the concept of the evolved form is a squid. A squid is a marine life creature since the site is considered as near the sea and from the entrance by the ticket booth to the right, we can see the function hall with an extended outside recreational ground with a designated parking area for guests. From the drop-off, the main building is the next facility to be passed. The parking areas are found in front of the main building, with a 34 parking slot or shuttles with 3 person with disability parkings that is covered with trees. Upon entering the pool, there are 3 ways to access. Number 1, you have to be a guest of the hotel to access the pool. Number 2, team building grounds can access the pool but under permission. And number 3, if swimming or outing is the intention, a separate guardhouse is located at the drop-off of the restaurant that is connected to the guardhouse of the delivery area. From the hotel, going to the pool, you will pass through various plants in the plant-covered walkway, redirecting to 3 walkways. First is straightforward, is the way to the pool. To the left is going to the cottages or the team building grounds, and to the right leads to the way, the restaurant, and a connecting walkway to the function hall. Moving on to the site analysis, we can see the site is oriented to its original map. The main building is facing a bit to the southwestern compass. This is to minimize the heat gain of the sunpath of June solstice. Summer heat is basically very uncomfortable and can also get even hot as future climate changes. First, let's discuss about the utility and engineering orientation. The utility, engineering, and the generator set is placed on the northeastern side of the site. First, the generator set is separated from the buildings and has a standalone building. This is referred to the considerations. The generator sets accumulate large area of spaces in the facilities, and it stores a lot of heat and noise that can affect the end users. And by separating the generator set, the facility may experience unbearable and unnecessary sounds coming from the generator set. So to the ground floor of the main building, from the drop-off, we can see in front is the desk at the lobby. At the back of the lobby, there will be a control room or the server computers. At the sides of the front desk, there are two separate walkways leading to the outside of the hotel. From the walkways, we can pass through a green lung-like room. This gives a fresh look in the interior that is also a purifying lung that converts bad air toxins to good toxins, and it is significantly pleasing as a feature of the lobby. So, in arriving on the second floor, rooms and units are seen throughout the hallway. The second floor is lit up by the light well provided in the service core. Rooms are proportional to the shape, thus giving the structure even loads and balance. There are 22 rooms in total, which consist of a single bed, a standard room, a dorm-type room, and a two-bedroom suite. Going to the roof deck. The roof deck has a mini garden found surrounding the boundary of the floor. The view of the deck has a viewpoint of all the site. The roof deck is only accessible if you are a guest from the hotel. At the bottom right of the floor, we can find the water tanks and its control panel and extended linen storage to cater the second floor of the hotel and the needs of the hotel. From the front facade of the structure, the innovation is applied freely on the exterior of the structure, making it aesthetically pleasing and utility-wise. The design idea is a mixture of marine life and nature. With the consideration of marine life, the fish skin-like facade is placed on the ground floor as a sun shading panel, diffusing sunlight rays without compromising free light on the interiors of the facility. On the right and left side of the structure, there is still a second facade to protect the existing wall. The second skin is easily changeable if damaged, and it's also wood, so it has characteristics that can absorb heat. The rear or the back of the structure utilizes louvers are found on the ground floor of the structure. Throughout the use of bamboo coverings on the existing walls, this can help in a lot of heat diffusion. The study of the relationship of climate and indoor thermal environments in architecture is essential to understand the inhabitants' sensory perception. This is even more relevant when working in existing housing stock in view of the new challenges posed by the conservation of the 20th century architectural heritage and the adaptation of the buildings to our current comfort and environmental criteria. And that is it for my presentation. Thank you for listening, and God bless us all.